Hey everybody, what's up? Listen, I know I'm looking rough. I need a haircut, need to shave, but hey, I ain't going home to nobody. All right, this is gonna be another quick one. Um, Pharrell Williams asked a question. Well, Pharrell Williams made a comment that he says he's not built for that life. He will snitch. He is snitching. He got FBI on speed dial. Now, don't get too literal with that. But basically, the conversation was about there was some shooting at a place they was recording, and he just openly said that he's telling. So it just made me think like we understand that there is this code of you don't snitch. But I'm just wondering, is snitching based on the circumstances? Because some people say you never snitch, you don't snitch at all. But when does snitching become appropriate? And is everything labeled as snitching? Well, I guess it is if you telling on somebody. That's how they figure you snitching. So, for example, if you know your friend stole some stuff and they ask you about it and you don't say nothing, you don't snitch. That's cool. But do you go back to your friend and say, listen, you can't do this. This is not right. I ain't no say nothing, but if you keep this up, man, I can't roll with you no more. Or do you go and say something? Now, the other thing is, what if you see somebody that you don't know? Do you snitch? Not snitch. What if you see somebody that's doing harm to somebody, but you know that person that's doing the harm to other people? Do you snitch? Do you tell? If you are inside your house and people are shooting and bullets are coming towards your house, do you tell? Or do you just say, listen, I'm going to call the police, let them come out here, but they don't need to ask me no questions. Just come out here, scatter this stuff so it stops, but don't ask me no questions. See, that's what make me wonder. Now, I understand Pharrell's point about snitching. Now, he wasn't saying that he just go around telling on people. But he was like, yeah, if something dangerous pops off or something like that, put it like this. If you robbing a bank and Pharrell see you, just know he dropping names if they ask him. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is is snitching okay, or does it depend on the circumstances? Because to me, it's like, if I see somebody that's harming the community, or I see somebody that's like, a woman that's maybe drugging men and, doing whatever, but leaving them harmed. If I see a woman that's being harmed by God, you see somebody that's doing physical harm to somebody, when do you not say, okay, enough is enough? You know what I'm saying? When do you not say, like, okay, yeah, we need to go ahead and this needs to be handled? So is snitching always good? Now, to be honest with you, if you really say you care about people, then sometimes you're going to have to snitch. You're going to have to bring it out. If you know you got a guy that's out there going around molesting and raping women and harming children, you cannot have a no snitch policy. You just can't, because that means you're condoning it. So the thing about it is, people kind of saying like, oh, that's how he got his career. He snitched. That's how he made it in the music industry, because he was snitching on people. I don't think I can agree with that, because, yeah, you're right. He's not in the streets. And he said that. He openly said that. He said, I am not about that life. I am snitching. I am not about that life. And that brings up a good point. A person who's not out there, a person who's not in the streets like that, they're not going to have that same mentality of, we on code. Whatever go down, we don't bring nobody else into it. We deal with it amongst ourselves. But, like you said, if a person is not from the streets, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that same mentality. Their first thing is they picking up the phone and calling. And that's what he said. He's like, he admitted, he said, I'm not about that life, so I'm not mad at him. And a lot of people get mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all because he's honest. He letting you know up front, this is me. If you do this, you do it around me, and they come to me, I'm telling. And I'm not mad at him about that because he's letting you straight up know that's what he's about. But it really does kind of come from your environment also because people are different. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in the streets. I grew up in a neighborhood where I mean, literally, when you walked out the door, they were selling drugs. Like we knew where the drugs was being hid. You know, undercover cops coming in, all that type stuff. But the thing about it is, we did have a code. Nobody snitched. Nobody snitched. But the thing about it is, people they had a. Here's the thing: the guys that were selling drugs, they did have an even though they had a code, don't snitch, they handle stuff themselves, meaning somebody's gonna get beat down or whatever. But they did have a code too that they did not let the kids in that neighborhood be a part of any of that. They would not. I mean, they would beat you up. I beat you up. They knew it was kids, but you would get a drug whooping, if they found out that you was trying to mess with their stuff or trying to buy some of that stuff. They set you straight. They did not deal with the kids in the community. So that's the thing about it. Is like, if you're going to say that you cannot snitch at all, then you got to look at the fact of, does that apply to every situation? Does that apply to every circumstance? Nah, I just don't believe that. I'm sorry. Because you can't tell me that if somebody is outside your house shooting, or somebody has a knife coming at your child, somebody has a knife trying to break in your house, that you not about to start snitching. But I think snitching does come from sort of the environment a person comes from, the streets, like the person just said. But it also depends on the relationship with the person that you're with. Now, some people is like, listen, yeah, I saw him steal that. Yeah, I saw him push that lady, or I saw her beat that guy, or hit that guy, or run into that guy's car, or break his window. But that person may have the mindset of, you know what? It ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know them. I don't care. Now, if it's somebody you know and that stuff happens to, are you snitching? Or y'all figuring y'all just gonna handle it yourself? Now, I'm not condoning any violence or anybody going out hunting anybody, but I'm just asking, when people say we don't snitch, you really need to think about what you're saying. And when are you going to apply that process? And a lot of people, the police have a bad habit of saying that, everybody got this no snitch policy. Well, I think it was said best in the movie with Lawrence Fishburne, always outnumbered, always outgunned. Like, the worst thing you can ever do is turn a black man over to the police. And that's because the police have a history of how they treat people. That's why. That's why. So I think sometimes people will, get into the policy of don't snitch. But, I just don't see that it can apply to every situation. You know what I'm saying? It can't apply to every situation. Sometimes you got to really think about it, man. Like, what if this person continues to doing what they're doing? How many lives going to be lost? If this person is running through the neighborhood, stabbing people, robbing people, does your no snitch policy still go into play? See, you need to think about the stuff you say and think about how you really want to classify things as far as saying, I don't snitch. Now, don't get me wrong. My first thing is, if it's not something life-threatening or harmful, I'm gonna step to you myself, and we're gonna talk about it and see what's up. But some people, they quit. They on the phone. Soon as they on the phone. You know what I mean? So y'all think about that. Y'all drop comments down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think snitching is appropriate? Do you think it depends on the circumstance? Do you think it depends on if you know that person, your relationship with the person? What if you know somebody and they are actually committing crimes that are harming other people? Do you talk to them first? Or do you say, you know what, they're not going to stop. Let me just go to the police, tell them who it is and where to find them. What do you think? So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that the snitching code has levels to it, or do you think it's just a vague, open thing? Y'all tell me about it. Y'all drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm curious.